be up and running now. So hopefully you guys, and if there's anything you need to right now, I don't know if everybody gets out when I have to do them. All right. Now, the other thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna switch charts again and see if that could be an issue. So it's not the mic, but give me a minute. Well, you can't hear anything because I switched. I saw that. So, one more check. One more check. You guys, I'm gonna keep talking for a while. And, yeah, just let me know. Just let me know. Yes, Danny, all right, guys, so I'm gonna keep going. We're gonna keep talking. So GCTS, GCTS, a stock from GCTS. Mm. Okay, I'm looking at some of these halts already, guys. Now, some of the ones from our AI this morning, Oust. Yeah, I mean, there's been a couple of pretty good ones early. Oh, that's what you did. So you reset the audio bridge. Okay. Okay. I was wondering how that happened. Yeah, that's another thing, guys. You know, if you've been in the room from in the pre-market, well, like what Dick said, do a refresh, okay? Do a refresh, and hopefully that'll help. I hate having to do this, taking away from the task at hand, which is, finding stuff to trade. House guys, so OUST. So this is an earnings play, guys. OUST is an earnings play. I'm just going to do a test in YouTube. So I want to see if you guys can hear me in YouTube. So look at Oust here, guys. So Oust actually on a weekly chart has some room, 668, I think. 608 is the high. 608 is the high. So on the weekly chart, it would have to get through that. Well, look at Canada Goose now, guys. Now Canada Goose, some news from yesterday, they're laying off something like 17%. Closes down. That was yesterday, closing down 6% after cut 17% of corporate roles. Well, they can go. So Canada Goose is jumping a little bit on that news, though that news hit yesterday, though. That was a big down bar. Big red bar yesterday. Okay, good to hear. You guys are saying the sound is much better. Okay, good to hear. Yeah, I wish I could hear what I sound like. I just don't hear what I sound like. So that's the issue. All right, one more. I'm just going to try one more thing, and then I'm just going to stop. Okay. I mean, there's nothing more I can do. I've already rebooted, so there's nothing, and the Windows update has taken effect, so there's nothing more I can do. One more thing I can do. Just give me a moment. GCTS. So this could be interesting. Again, it's in the right sector. It's a SPAC that turned into GCTS today. It started trading in the pre-market as GCTS. I mean, it's spiked up to $30. It is a, it is a, it's in the semi. It's a semi, so it's in the right sector. So guys, I mean, this is a big one. It's an earnings play. It's from our AI also. And on the daily chart, I mean, it's right at that high, I believe, on the daily chart, which is 608, 605. It's out right now. If it can take out 605, 618 is the next high. It can take those out. I mean, this is sort of the fantasy area, the 668 for OUST. All right. OTRK, I did not see this one in the pre-market. Actually, I think I did see it in the pre-market, but it was chopping around too much. But that's why also it's maybe I did not see it in the pre-market because I do have a 50-cent minimum and I see it's just at 56 cents now. So I probably did not see it in the pre-market. Look at Oust, guys. Oust. This has been a really nice one, early one from our AI. Okay. Again, the next high looking left on the daily chart is 608, so it's at 612 now. So I do see that we had a couple of ones from the combo scan. Let's take a look at NCNO. NCNO, I think NCNO is an earnings play. Yes, it is. NCNO is an earnings play. At the alert at 35.69. 35.69, man, it hit 36.65 before it pulled back. Yeah, so they announced a public offering after hours yesterday, 75 million. I don't see the price. That is STOK. They're doing a financing, and the market is shaking that off like nothing. This was an AI alert yesterday, guys. I kept waiting for it to do this yesterday, and it just didn't do it. I mean, it gapped up, but then look what happened. See that red bar on the daily. So yes, it gapped up, but it basically faded all day. I mean, I did see this in the pre-market, but I didn't think much of it, to be honest. But look at this. I mean, this is, I mean, that news is from yesterday, but they do have some news today. Okay. So they do have some news today. New data, phase 1/2A. It's probably a very low, actually, I mean, it's a low float. It's not crazy low, 33 million in the float. It's not crazy low, but it is low. And look at, guys, NUVB, I mentioned this one. Look at NUVB. This was also an AI alert from us yesterday, NUVB. So we've got a couple of continuation plays from our AI from yesterday, NUVB and STOK. I think it's a good idea if you follow, take a look at the ones that triggered yesterday and see if they'll have any sort of continuation today. So if you have our AI, just click on new and then premium AI strategy trade window. Okay, that's what I would load, nothing more. I wouldn't overwhelm yourself going to our channel. I think there's too much information there. So just click on the premium AI strategy trades window. This is what you're going to see. These are the alerts today. You can see there's the oust, STKS. But if you look at the ones from yesterday, all you have to do is go to history, okay, and go to yesterday, and there's the NUVB, there's the stock, STOK. Check the other ones out too. Look at MESO, MESO. MESO is down, so it's not. But the alert was at what was the alert yesterday? 298. So it's still above the alert price. So I mean, again, you could maybe even make a watch list out of the ones from yesterday and follow them today, and just do that every day. Okay, just have a rotating watch list every single day. All right, so how to get my scanners? Okay, so you got a question from how to get my scan. Now, this is not part of my scanners. Okay, if you're talking about this specifically, you have to be a premium subscriber. It's not part of my scanners. You just load it from the toolbar. So just give me a moment. Okay, so if you click on my homepage link that I put in there, click on my homepage link. I'll put the link in the YouTube room too. Usually I do this in about 20 minutes, but I'm not going to go over my homepage in any detail other than this. If you're looking for my scanners, so you'll be at the top, just scroll down a bit to the middle to this section right here. Here are my scans. So it's the middle section of the clickables. Click here. So this is the one you're talking about, the combo scan. Okay. But here are the other scans that I am currently sharing. I'll go over this in a little more detail in about 20 minutes. Okay. But there's the combo scan. Now, if you load it now, you will not see the first alerts. You might probably just see the last alert. Okay. So iBio guys on the move now. iBio on the move. Call it an obesity / AI play right now. Okay. Darren, you sent an email to TI on Sunday. What was the email about? It's not normal. No, you're right. Now, sometimes we've had a problem in the past that's sometimes the email gets directly to spam instead of hitting where it's supposed to. That's the only thing I can think of because usually we're very responsive. But what was the email about? Maybe I can help. If it's an accounting issue, I cannot. That was a great one from the AI so far, guys. That oust. Fortunately, I was doing my whole reboot, missed it, but man, oh man, that's a great 575 on the alert, 619 now, about as high as 625, 626. Great percentage move. Now, if you took this one again, the next high is looking left. Yeah, it's got room now. More room even. If you look at the daily chart for OUST, the next high is 657, 657. You know what, guys? And this kazoo continues to do its thing. CZOO. So on the weekly chart, when you look at the weekly chart, the next high, 815, so it's above that. I'm just trying to check. 10. The next high in the weekly chart is 10. So it's got all this stepping down, it could get stalled on all these little areas in the daily chart, but the next time the weekly chart anyway is $10. Another great follow through day for CZOO. Actually has earnings next week. All right, yes, the GCTS, which is a semi play, it's a SPAC that turned into GCTS this morning, and it got halted and now it's resumed. So certainly is in the, yeah, you're right. Kazoo showed up in our AI also. Mohammed, you're right. As a short, yeah, well, it might be. Unfortunately, no shorts available for me, Interactive Brokers. So what was the email about, Darren? I've right, guys. So CCL earnings play, and it has and all over the place. Look at that. Up to $18, down to $16, back up. Way, 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 way too choppy for me. Oh, I see. Okay. Well, you know what? I mean, Darren, there's really not a lot. I mean, the AI, I treat it like a watch list. Okay. Now there's no auto trading. So if that's what you're talking about, there's no auto trading, and I just use it like a watch list. You get the alert, and you click on it, see what it looks like on a chart, and then you make up your mind if you want to trade it or not. Okay. I mean, this oust. Wow. I mean, this oust has been a fabulous one. Earnings play. I would not, 'cause I have no idea what your question was, but for instance, I would not care about why this alert happened. I mean, some people say, well, why did this trigger and this Holly Neal, why did this one happen to Holly Grail? Forget about it. I wish, I shouldn't even have the segments here anymore. I would make it as super simple as you can. Just load this window and you'll get the alerts. You'll not get an alert until at least 9:40. Okay, doesn't mean you'll get one at 9:40, but you can see there was two at 9:40, 9:41, 9:42. That's the earliest you'll get an alert in our AI, and just make it super simple. The only thing, you have a stop. I would not care about exit time, exit price, anything else. I would take a look at my stop, maybe obey that, and that's about it. Here's your entry price. You don't have to get in right at the actual penny. I never do that. I'm always, I don't care if I get an alert from my favorite scan of all time or the AI. I click on the alert. I check to see what it's doing on the time frames that I like to follow. And if I like it, then I take the trade. If I don't like it, I don't take the trade. I try to make it super, super simple. Now, dare I ask, how is the sound? Okay. And I hate those responses though, not good, but good enough. I hate it. Yeah, no, yeah. And so some in YouTube. See, now this is telling me then if the YouTube sound is not good, then it's got nothing to do with the room. This room here, it's really got nothing to do with this. I was thinking of, there was another version of it that the developer wants me to go to, but I don't think that's going to help the sound at all. So, okay, guys, iBio now. iBio showed up in the combo scan. Just showed up in the combo scan. And it popped up to 310. Now that red line right there, that is telling me where the next high on the daily chart is. So that consequently, that prevents me from taking this trade right now. But if it gets through that, I mean, it's kind of far away, but if it gets through that 320 area, then when you look on the weekly chart, it's got a ton of room. Okay, Pepe. Well, listen, I will. I just can't get to a store until probably until Friday. You know, of course, the market's closed. So if a new mic help, that'd be great. Yeah, look what happened. You see look what happened, guys. I don't rush into these just because I get an alert. Okay, you're gonna lose me for a bit. All right, I see Shady is talking about GDC and another one. I mean, look at this in the pre-market, 178, all the way back down to 126. Hard to trust them. GDC at the VWAP, 135. 135 is the VWAP. Well, I still is strong, guys. House is still strong. OUST is still strong. If you took if you took this one, your next high is 659. I'm saying it's getting there, but then you can see, I mean, because of the I would have almost for sure taken this one because this is the first 15. Yes, I don't like to trade in the first 15. And then it pulled back down to 578, almost to the alert price. And then on this move here, more than likely I would have taken this one. It's an earnings play, had room over the 200 day moving average, had a lot going for it. All right, SER now. I don't think I've ever seen SER. The reason being is that it's just starting to trade as SER today. So this popped up to 20, so it obviously got halted on the way down, SER. And is this one of those SPACs that started trading? Yeah, it looks like it started trading. What's wrong with the sound? Nothing. It's your ears, James. No, I'm kidding, but yeah, I've had sound issues all day. Hey guys, NBCR, I'm going to do one more thing. Okay, so just to let you know, I am gonna get a new mic, this afternoon. Okay, I am gonna get a new mic. If that is the issue. That's the issue. Now, guys, it's a great continuation from yesterday, guys, the NUVB on, from line. So, moment, I'm gonna put an announcement in. So I don't know if I should, just, cut myself off completely today or not. Okay, thanks. We'll just do it. Hey, guys, so this is the last attempt, okay? So if this does not work at all, if it's still horrible, then I'm gonna mute myself for the whole day. I'll put the announcement up there. I'm gonna mute myself for the whole day. All right, well, you can't hear me. You know, guys, it's killing me not to be on the ECTS. So maybe a miracle will happen. Maybe you guys can hear me. I'll just keep talking for a bit. Maybe some of you can hear me. If listen, if it's horrible for you, just turn me off. Some can hear me not badly, okay? That's what I'm getting. So really coming in good now? All right. Well, I'll keep going for a while. I'm still gonna get a new mic. All right. Well, hey, okay. The miracles happen, guys. Maybe all I had to do was stop talking for a while, but I will get a new mic this afternoon once the market closes. So we'll see if that helps. All right. Well, good. Okay. I'll get rid of that message then. Again, I do apologize. So, guys, that oust is just sensational now. Not only, this was the area that it may have struggled to get through, 668. Now you've got 774. Well, Blaine, it's nothing I can do. Okay. Some say it's okay. So I'll listen. I'll keep doing what I'm doing right now. And if it's not good, if it's a major annoyance, just mute me. Okay. But some say it's not bad. So, but listen, I'm going to try. Hopefully, a new mic will help. But my goodness, oust, oust, oust. Again, this is an earnings play. So what I love about some of these earnings plays, companies that completely and utterly fly under the radar. Okay, completely and utterly fly under the radar for 3 months, and then they have earnings. Now, not that this one. Well, actually, this is probably earnings last time. We're over here. This is probably earnings last time. Anyway, bottom line is, did we see oust over the last several months? I know I didn't. All right, we have we have a question in our YouTube room. Now, guys, keep an eye on the iBio. Okay, definitely keep an eye on the iBio. I have a question, YouTube. Where on social media do people come together and decide to short squeeze a stock? No idea. Okay. I mean, I don't know. If you do a search and I have no idea. No idea. I'm sure there are some, go to Twitter or type in, do a search on short squeeze or something like that. Or I really have no idea, Mountain Monkey. Okay, guys, CGC, major area for to try to get through. Excuse me, major area. You can see right there on the weekly chart, 835. Excuse me, sorry guys. Yeah, there's a group on Reddit. I'm sure there is. I maybe check Reddit, Mountain Monkey, some group somewhere in Reddit. Oust, oust, oust. My goodness, it continues to keep moving here, guys. So again, if you're in this one now, 692 is the next high looking left on the daily chart. Okay, for oust. You talk about a trend. I mean, this is it. This is what you want to see. This has not had one pullback at all. Nothing. I mean, it's been straight up since the market opened for OUST. Now, at some point, there could be some profit taking, and I notice there are shares available for me to short. All right, guys. Well, while the mic is working, subpar, but I guess you guys can hear me somewhat. So what I want to do right now is go over my homepage. Okay, guys. So if you click on my homepage link, now, first of all, you can see the promo codes to use, right? If you're going to take out a monthly subscription, then it's 23 Barry. You'll get 23% off the first month only. And if you want to take out a yearly subscription, it's 25 Barry. You'll get 25% off the entire year. So let me just click on my homepage link. And this is what you're going to see. So obviously don't use this promo code. 23 Barry will get you 23% off the first month only. Or 25 Barry will get you 25% off the entire year. Okay. Now we are having a price increase on April 1st. Again, listen carefully. If you are a current subscriber, you don't have to worry. As long as you maintain your subscription, you are locked in at the price you're paying. Okay. So it's just if you're brand new after April 1st, we're having a little price increase. It's not huge, but it is a price increase. So just to give you an idea, our standard subscription on a monthly basis is 118 a month, and it's going to go to 127 a month. So that gives you an idea. Not a huge one, but you do want to lock yourself into the lowest price right now, then you can take out a subscription between now and Sunday night, 11:59 p.m. Eastern time, because on April 1st, that is when the price increases are in effect on April 1st, which is next Monday. Okay. So if you do take out a subscription, you must do the get started. And that'll run you through your download and install. There are 10 short videos, download and install for startup and login. Important introduction to scans, top list windows, and alert windows, okay? It is a software program, obviously a bit of a learning curve. What we've tried to do when they get started, though, is very quickly show you all the important aspects of trade ideas. If you are new to trading, Trading 101 is for you. This is a series of videos, free, put on by Michael Noss at Trade Ideas. I think there are about 38 videos, so it's all free. stock of the day video. May not do one today depending on my mic, but I do a stock of the day video. It is free, of course. Trade of the week is also free. You'll get it before the market opens every Monday morning. If you do sign up for it and you don't feel you're getting it, please check your spam folder. And if you have Gmail, check your promotions folder. This is the education section here. We have a great user guide. So a lot of times I get questions. Okay, first of all, in the user guide, there's that getting started section again. More detail about what an alert window is and a top list window. You want to find about stock racing and price alerts that I use all the time. Now, a lot of times people ask, well, how do I put a sound alert on a chart, or not on a chart, but in an alert window, or even our AI or our price alerts window? How do I create a watch list or a symbol list? A lot of this you'll find in the guide. Okay. There's a getting started series again. Now, daily support. I do take a break between 12 and 1 Eastern time. One of the other traders takes over for me. Now, iBio, guys, iBio. I know I'm interrupting myself, but keep an eye on iBio. IBIO, on the move. I do take a break between 12 and 1 Eastern time. One of the other traders takes over for me in our YouTube room. Today is Jamie. Should be, at least I think he was listening to me earlier, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be Jamie again in our YouTube room. That he usually is on Wednesday, but I will confirm that before I do take my break. So all I ask is this: if you do decide to take out a subscription, please use my promo code. This is a free room. The way we keep it free is by people using my code to take out a subscription, because the credit goes to the room. It's that simple, okay? Last, if you are looking for my scans and you've clicked on my homepage, scroll down, middle section, here are the scans that I'm currently sharing. All right, this is the one this is the, look at iBio. I mean, it has been, it's a disappointment because it's been so darn choppy. But there's the combo scan that I talk about a lot. Okay, so I have two columns of scans. The bottom right scan is the combo scan that I do talk about a lot. But I do have other scans that I'm, of course, sharing. There's that House Resumes is here. You can take a look at all the other scans that I have. I do not have them all up and running at the same time for myself. Okay, is what I use in the pre-market actives up and down. But the reason I've got scans that I'm not using right now, but you may find them interesting. And it doesn't mean I will never use them. It's just that right now I'm not using some of the scans. Okay, but you may look at one and go, that sounds interesting. Let's take a look at what it looks like. Well, you know what has not had a rug pull yet, though, is this OUST has not had a rug pull at all. Look at this trend, guys. And right at this level here, 692. It's at 692. That's the next high looking left on the daily chart. And if it gets through that, believe it or not, it's got room to 743. Wow. You know what? I have no idea, Darren. I've never used it in the 14 years I've had trade ideas. Okay. So there may be, just give me a moment though, because it may, like a lot of things will have, if you click on, so what you're talking about, let me do a search on bars. Hopefully it's going to show up. No. Okay. Yeah, in the film, give me an example of one. Okay. Well, the gap. Okay. Bars. Okay. Here they are. Okay. So when you do a help, okay, click on it and do help. Or do help. Click on help. Okay. And let's see what it says. I cannot add anything to this. I've never used the bars, but let's see what it says. Understanding the gap in bars filter. There you go. You can read through all this. Okay. Most of the time, if you click on the alert, or either the alert or the filter, and then you click on help, you're going to get a very, very detailed description of it. Okay, never use it. Wow, I mean, this house is just sensational. Now, again, there are shorts available for me and interactive brokers to short it. I mean, at some point, you've got to figure that it's going to run out of steam. I mean, maybe not yet, though. I mean, 741 is the next high. It's over 7. So even if you had waited, here it is again, even in the combo at 656. The combo scan, as you notice, there are not very many alerts here. It takes quite a bit for a stock to get into the scan because there are a lot of filters in there that, which is what I like. I don't want to see a lot of alerts. Mara is actually now starting to move a little more independently from Bitcoin. There's look at Mara now, guys, and Bitcoin is moving down a bit. And Mara is now starting to move a little more independently of what Bitcoin does. I mean, it's still a massive break would be at 23 level at some point. All right, guys. Well, it looks like House is on the way down for a bit anyway. Okay, House is down on the way down for a bit anyway, and that's at OUST. If you took a short, you got maybe room down to 754 or so. I'm not saying to short it, but it did stall right around that 7 level. A high over here was 692, so around the 7 level. And this may be just a brief respite, though. I did see that Hood had some news today about a credit card rebate, a 3% rebate or something with a Hood credit card of some sort. Does that make sense? I saw some news about Hood this morning. All right, guys, let's take a look at RNW. And next high looking left for RNW, too close. And there's the 200-day moving average. It's showing up on my momentum scan. Okay, that's why I clicked on it. But to me, there's just too much resistance not that far away. So it's not as interesting to me. Yeah, iBio is a mess. I mean, that's just a mess. I actually thought that once it took out 3 for about the third time, well, look at all these topping tails. So, I mean, in the pre-market, it got to, well, almost a 3. Then it got to 320. And then it got to 309. And then it got to 330. And I thought maybe that last one was the one that was going to keep it over 3, but not even close. Meanwhile, my goodness, an incredible, this is what I wanted stock to do yesterday for me, STOK. So they announced the financing. They also had some news on this drug that they've got, I guess. I guess that's the big news, okay? But they've also done a financing. And this is, I mean, it's only a phase 1/2A, but it doesn't matter. Look at this move, guys. What a 2 days. I mean, this is a, well, 3 day move. 2 day move, really. I mean, this is Tuesday and this is today. So this is the big 2 day move. This was an AI alert from yesterday. So again, this is what I would do, guys. You know, if you've got our AI, I would create a symbol list every single day, a new symbol list every single day. And all you have to do is, if you have our AI, I'll show this right now. Just right click and click on history and then click on yesterday. Okay. And so what you would do is yesterday, when the market closes, take these symbols and put them in a symbol list and track them the next day. Okay. We've already seen that NUVB and of course stock, they're not all going to be crazy, but all you need is a couple of them to keep going. And if you want me to go over that again, I certainly will. Okay, so Kareem and anybody else. Okay, so first of all, you have to have our, this is the way I would, I would not overcomplicate our AI. Just click on new and then premium AI strategy trades window. Okay, that's all you need. It's, in my opinion, that's all you need. Do not overcomplicate it. And what will happen is you'll have this window here and incorporate it as part of your layout. Okay, because tomorrow, when you load trade ideas, assuming you load it before the market opens or even at 9:30, you will not get an alert in the AI until at least 9:40. You don't necessarily get one at 9:40. We did today, but okay. So it doesn't, nothing happens in the pre-market. So all you have to do then is, like you can do it even now, but right click, history, yesterday. So these are the yesterday alerts from the AI. Now, technically, all you really have to do is at the end of the day, just take these alerts and put them in a symbol list. Okay, and then watch these tomorrow. Okay, that's all I'm saying to do. Just take them, very easy, just highlight them. If you don't know how to create a symbol list, go to the user guide and where it says a watch list. Okay, and just create a watch list. And then you can monitor it the next day, those symbols. And I'm not saying obviously, we don't expect every symbol the next day to be a rocket ship, but we've got a couple today, certainly with STOK and NUVB. Just follow them, just follow them, Kareem. I don't use it. I'm not, but those are stocks that I guess have been, Chris has I think he's got a canned description of it, but I guess these are stocks that obviously they were previous AI alerts and they, in theory, are continuing to work. Okay. I don't use it, but I think that's how it is categorized. Just keeping track of the ones that have been AI alerts before and are still working to some extent. Okay. I think Chris has got a canned, let me see what he says. Okay, I'll, just waiting for Chris to, I know he has, you know, we get the question every now and then, of course, so just give me one moment, please. Okay, guys, I'm continuing to watch this oust just to see if 7 keeps blocking it. If not, I mean, this could rocket again. Well, I mean, it could be a whole number 7 right now, but it did break out over 7 before. It's super strong still. Okay, sorry. Well, 7 could have blocked it, but it's getting through. But it just have to look left on a weekly chart or a daily chart for oust. Okay, and the next high. I mean, it's above that high right there. So the next high in the daily. I mean, it's 742. Super strong still. I'm not saying it's going to get the 742, but and on the weekly, it's 773. Okay. I mean, the pullback may be over. I mean, it got down to 674, but you know how well it holds over 7 will be key. Well, that's all I do. I just look left. Just look left and, you know, just chart checking to see if you can see a next high on the daily chart. I mean, that could stall it, of course. And if you can't see it on the daily chart, then check a weekly chart. Again, when I say the next time, you understand, I'm not saying it's going to get there. I'm just saying that is where the next high is. So that if you're still in it and it gets close there, that's where it could stall. I'm certainly not saying it's going to get there. I want to miss people listening to me don't think that just because I say the next high is at a certain level that it's going to get there. I wish I had that that sway or pull. It's more where I think it could if it keeps going where it could stall. But I mean, it has been super strong. That's a nice bottoming tail there. You know, I mean, the sellers tried to knock it down, and they were succeeding for a bit. But what's the float here? You know, it's not a big float. 39 million in the float. So it's certainly not a big float. Not a crazy low one, but Well, I mean, look at NUVB, guys. I mean, NUVB is like, what a move. Again, what a move. Just even today's move, okay? Just today's move. It's up 29%. Today's move. But remember, the buy down here was around 260 from our AI yesterday. So while you guys can still kind of hear me, I'm going to just talk briefly about what trade ideas is all about. Okay. Like I'm watching this. I mean, I'd like to get into this oust if it holds this 7 level. I'm just basing a little bit above 7, and let's see if it can hold it. Okay, while I'm waiting. So this is what trade ideas is all about. Okay, we are fabulous at real-time alerting. If I right click on this alert window and click on the summary, this is telling me, and I'm sharing this window, I'm sharing this scan, okay? So we are a scanner. This is the filtering or the screening aspect. Of course, we can screen a lot of screening programs out there, but what we're excellent at, real-time alerting, okay? So if in this particular scan, the price is between $1 and $100, the current volume is at least 3, meaning it's trading at least 3 times normal up to this time of day. This gives it the momentum. The volume in the last minute is at least 1,000% of normal. 5 minutes, it's 400% of normal, etc. If all of these filter values are met and the stock makes a new high for the day, we get a real-time alert. So the last time that happened was 11 o'clock, 15 seconds past 11 o'clock for NUVB. It met all these filter requirements and it made a new high for the day at 374. Since then, there hasn't been one that's met all the requirements. Okay, that's how it works. So again, I am sharing this scan. I am sharing this scan. If you like it the way it is, great. If not, you can always make some changes, of course. If you don't like the price range, if you don't like anything else about it, you can make some changes if you want. You know, this is what I like to see. Doesn't have to be what you like to see. Now, if you know what, this is maybe turning into the short for oust. Now, if you want to create your own scans, of course you can. But remember, I am sharing a lot of my scans, and in our toolbar, if you click on new and then dock channel bar, they're all theme-based channels. We're sharing a lot of scans there. And if you go to YouTube between 12 and 1, when one of the other traders takes over for me in our YouTube room, they're sharing their own scans. Okay, so we have a lot of scans that we're sharing, and you know it's possible you'll see something like this one. Maybe it's not exactly what you want, but you can make some adjustments, and maybe it turns into what you're looking for. Now, if you want to build your own scans from scratch, of course you can. If you click on search and then new high, sorry, these are the real-time alerts that we've got. This is the new high of the day, new low of the day, the 2 most popular, but we have a lot of other real-time alerts, okay? And I'm going to scroll down. When you see these icons, these are the filter screening icons. Now, again, you do not have to learn them all. The only reason we have so many, you know, with also when the company started over 20 years ago, they felt that most people probably would not want to have to learn a programming language in order to create a scan. So they had to create enough different real-time alerts and filters so that the majority of our customers, if they wanted to build their own scan, could combine them to give them the type of scan they're looking for. Okay, that's the only reason. So don't look at all this and think, my goodness, I cannot, this is way too complicated. I cannot learn them all. You don't have to. I only is, you know, the only 2 alerts I use, new high and new low. That's it. Doesn't mean the rest of them are bad. It's just that, you know, this is my style to look for new highs and new lows of the day. And I only use a handful of the filters. You know, again, it doesn't mean that all the filters I don't use are bad. It just means they don't meet my trading. It's that simple, okay? So don't get hung up on how many we've got. Now, if you're an intraday trader like myself, then your goal every single day is to find the stocks that are trading abnormally. Now, you almost could look no further than this, okay? This window that I'm pointing at right here, the relative strength leaders from the close percent. Now, if you want this presentation, and this is a top list window, okay? All right. So if you have a top list window up and running, and if you right click on it and you do not have the option that says show tree map to watch what happens, this is the typical, this is what we used to always show as a top list window. And if you want to have it like this, that's fine. I way would rather have it, much rather have it like this though. The presentation like this, right click, show the tree map. Now it's in my face. These are the ones to watch all day long. Okay. Now again, if you do not have this option, when you right click on a top list window that says show tree map, you must have the latest beta. So if you click on my homepage link, just scroll right to the top and you'll see the download section. Okay. And this is it, the beta. The beta is absolutely fine. Okay. So if you want a presentation of top list, and doesn't, not just this one, but any top list window, you can turn into this, which I think is a far, far better presentation. Okay. But it's up to you. So for instance, give me a moment. So for instance, these scans that I'm sharing right here, these are top list windows. Okay, this is what I use in the pre-market. But if you're with me in the pre-market, you notice that I've got two that look like this, and one is when the stock's moving down and active moving down in the pre-market, and one is moving higher in the pre-market. But this is the way I display it. All right, guys. Now let's take a look at. So again, this is a trading room, but it's a support room also. Okay, so if you have questions and you can hear me, I know the sound might be not great today. I'm going to be getting a new mic this afternoon to see if that helps. Okay, but you can ask me questions about the program. You can ask me market questions. I mean, if I can't answer them, I will try to direct you to somebody who can. And there could be people in this room, especially if they're market questions. I don't get too involved. Like people ask me, well, what do I think oil's going, or what do I think crypto's going to do? I have no idea. Okay, I don't look at the market in a macro sense. So as crazy as it sounds, this is about the best my computer has sounded in forever. Hardly even hear it. So if only the mic would work better. So guys, take a look at DRCT, okay? DRCT. So this is an earnings break, a crash down, trying to have a bit of a comeback though. Okay, DRCT trying to have a bit of a comeback. The low was 30. I mean, that's a $3 pop from the absolute lows in the pre-market. And can it hold over 17? This is but this, I'm not saying it's going to. Sorry, 16, not 17. So ideally, it would just kind of rest here and then maybe start to move a little bit. Obviously, it's got a ton of room. Okay, who asked that question about the long-term holly before? Kareem, okay? If you're still here, Kareem. So I just got a response from Chris. This is what we get the question, in the general email, and Chris usually handles those, okay? So this is how he responds, okay? So Kareem, if you're still here, I just go to the general market talk, and I just posted the response that you would get from Chris if you asked him. All right, so Pepe, I don't know if they've got one there, but I'm going to try to get a noise canceling mic as opposed to having to rely on the software. And I wonder maybe that'll help also. Maybe it is crisp, maybe it's doing crazy things. Steve Gomez at Trade Ideas, he got one just recently. So I just don't know if hmm. So this is the one that I'm going to pop this in now. Unfortunately, I don't think Best Buy has this one. Talking to you, Pepe, but this is the one that Steve just got, and he says it's working great. I don't know if Best Buy has that, so I may not be able to do anything. If I'm going to order that one, it doesn't come from me anyway until April 8th. Not the end of the world, but anyway, let's take a look. Now, to me now, is getting a little tired, okay? Is getting a little bit tired. Wow, look at the DRCT, yakking. I wanted to, I was talking about how 16 could be a nice level for it to hold. And now it's marching its way up a little bit, DRCT. Mm-hmm. I agree with Pepe. So they might have a noise canceling one at Best Buy. I don't know. I've been using the Blue Yeti or one of those Blue Yetis. I don't know if it's the Nano or the Blue Yeti. I would think that Blue Yeti must have a noise canceling one. Anyway, sorry guys, I don't want to digress too much. Said I hate waking up every single morning now, not knowing if the sound is going to be good. Now, oust, L-U-S-T. So, I think if it can get down through, I may short this if it gets down to 673, the low right there. I may short it. I have a price alert put in that area. Well, how much is the plane ticket for you to fly up to Vancouver, Pepe? I'll foot it. I'll foot the bill. And you just fly up, have an extra room. You can stay for the weekend and get me all set up. Well, I mentioned this one in the pre-market. Look at this FLYX now. FLYX has been pretty solid. I mean, it's been a few topping tails and bottoming tails, but it has been pretty solid. And I mean, the next time, I mean, this has just been on a steady drop from $24. That's not that long ago. I mean, this is only what day is that? March the 7th. I mean, it's less than a month ago that this was a $24 stock, guys, all the way down to this morning, down to 330. Incredible. Now it's starting to have a little bit of a comeback here. I don't know what was going on with this one. Private jet experiences. It's not, and wasn't an, I don't believe it was an earnings play. Not today, I mean, but back here, I don't see when its earnings date was. So typically that means it's more than, I don't know, 45 days out. All right, guys, what time is it now? 11:19. Well, it's been a fast morning, but not the way I wanted it to be fast. How about this ALLG? ALLG. Let's take a look at this one. ALLG. Don't like it. Just looking left on the weekly chart. To me, it's just got too much going on. I don't think this one was shortable yesterday for me at Interactive Brokers. I'm talking about STOK. It is now 15,000 shorts available. That's I wonder if this is going to. I wonder if that break on 15 is going to be the one to make it really go down. Give me a moment, please. Now, this was the crazy one yesterday, one of the crazy ones yesterday among many, but DXYZ, excuse me, this got, I mean, I still don't quite understand what they do, but $32, I got closed down here at 8 or 9. Now it's up 43%. And that of course is because it had the massive sell-off. And yesterday when we were watching it, the spread, I never got into this one. It was just too crazy. If Io is still, staring at us here, guys, I'm not going to completely give up on it. I mean, what I should do and what I will do, not just should, I'm going to stick an alert around 312, 313, and maybe, I mean, the trend is kind of up. So maybe, where's the VWAP? The VWAP is 266. So, right there, the VWAP held it. That orange line right there is the 10 SMA on the 15-minute chart. That held it also, basically right at the VWAP area. There's no question. The topping tails are a red flag. That's why I'm saying if it can get over three for a bit and hold, if there's a little more confidence, and only because it's got to the room. I mean, you look at the weekly chart, the high is 612. Okay, so that high right there is 330 though. So it really has to. And what did it get to? It got to 330. So isn't that amazing? I wonder why I keep talking about looking left. So look left. Look where it got to. The high of that week is 330. The high today, 330. Oh, cool. Okay. Thank you, William. Wow, this will be delivered as early as today, if I order it right now. Interesting. Yeah, 199. Yeah, I mean 200 Canadian. I mean it's not cheap, but it's listen, if it works, that's less than going to the psychologist or the psychiatrist every day because of the issues I have with the sound. So hmm, yeah, Fisker down to 2 cents. Unbelievable, isn't it? Guys, this NUVB, it's really intriguing to me. I have to keep looking left on that monthly chart to see where it could go. I think it had some room, and not a lot of room. I mean, on the monthly chart, 410, okay? So it doesn't have a lot of room, but 371, I mean, that would be bad. I mean, it's holding in the area. And I mean, just had a great day yesterday and almost a better day today. All right, guys, you know what you might want to watch is that GCTS. GCTS. Keep an eye on the GCTS here. I mean, this is it's a SPAC, okay, that turned into GCTS today. Was trading in the pre-market. I mean, the reason being is that it's in the semi sector, okay. So they certainly are, trying to capitalize on being in the right sector. And I mean, it's crazy. I mean, it got up to, I don't know how many shares that was, but it did get up to $30 in the pre-market. I'm not saying it's going to get up to $30, of course. It's a low float, 4.5 million. This is something that I mean, man, it's just because of the sector, okay? All right, guys. Well, you know what? Oust is still strong. Oust is still strong. OUST is still a strong stock. I mean, it doesn't, whoops, if I type the right symbol in, we'll get the chart. OUST is still very strong. I mean, there's the high, takes out that high. I mean, this could keep running, and it still has some room. Let me back to that weekly chart, and it still has some room. There's the high in the weekly chart, 772. Meanwhile, remember Kazoo? CZOO? Man, oh man, oh man. I mean, it is just again, I can't remember if there was any specific news on this one yesterday. CZOO, I really don't know. Um, but it's had a great 2 days, and it is from our AI. Wow, okay. So actually, this one was suggested short from our AI earlier. And you know what? I mean, the short was at what, 8:45. Okay, so arguably, I mean, before it pulled up, I mean, that was a nice short. That's why I'm saying use the AI as a watch list. You could have shorted this, and from 8:45, it got down to 763. I mean, maybe even a little lower. I'm not sure. And then, you could have taken a nice short on that one. And now it's popped up. So even though that's why we're saying, use the AI like a watch list, and you want to get into a trade, you don't have to get in right at the exact penny, and then manage the exits. I did it. Did I? I'm no excuse, guys. No excuse. I should be in this one. This just got halted. I should be in this one. I was looking at that 16 break. I mean, it's hard to know what's going to happen with this. I mean, first of all, this blue screen you see here is from Interactive Brokers. Okay, nothing to do with trade ideas. So you can't see the symbol, but it is the GCTS. There is the halt price at 1773. Now, this is where it could open, but I mean, 1773.25, no. But who knows? I mean, it's hard to know where it's going to where it's going to open. But my feeling is that just because of the sector it's in, Guys, keep an eye peeled on the OUST. Those bottoming tails, the buyers are still, modestly in control of this one, okay? OUST. I mean, at the price level we're at, obviously they've been in control all day, but you can see what's happened. I mean, the sellers have been trying to knock this down. I mean, I was one of them. I mean, I was interested in a potential short. But so look at those topping tails. Now there was there are some topping tails, but I'm talking with the bottoming tails. The trend is still up. It's making higher lows on the 15-minute chart. But my key would be for it to take up around that 720 level. Then the next high would be 744 on the daily, and if it can get through that, then that 774 area. Ooh. Appreciate it, guys. I don't know if the people are in the room who are doing it, but I do appreciate it. Some sales coming in that are getting the room credit. Well, let's see where it could open. Fingers crossed for you. Now, it's been halted several times. So let's just see where it could open. Again, it's not really giving us maybe this is more realistic. 1773, 1806. So it got halted at 11:30 plus 20 seconds. So this is going to be opening, if it's a 5-minute halt, in 10 seconds. So fingers crossed for you, Kareem. Okay. And let's see, 5 seconds, 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, and it is not happening. Okay, so, all right, so this could turn into a 10-minute halt. Okay, typically the halts are 5 minutes long, but typically I would say that at least 90%, well, I've just opened, so a little after. So good, good, good. So far, it's a pop from where you, well, it is a pop for you, so just be careful on it. It's brand new, so. And it did hit. I mean, this is the attraction, of course, the traders are probably looking at. The fact that it did hit 30 in the pre-market, as crazy as it sounds. Boy, look at that spread. But, I mean, it's still looking strong. Spread or no spread. If it takes this out, I mean, this is the high that it's looking at. Well, I'm looking at anyway. $19, and look what it got to. It got to 1949. It did pull. Wow, look at that. But it's the spread, okay? I mean, right now you have to deal with the spread. But I'm telling you, if it takes out this high at some point during the day again, I mean, this could get rocking. You've just got to be careful because of the spread. And again, this is what I'm talking when I keep talking about the spread. Look at the difference between the bid and the ask. 1749, 1888 right now. Okay. Now it's got to obviously tighten up somewhat. So my alert is set for the high of the day. Okay, maybe it happens later on. And you can see it right there. Okay, it is showing up. And one of the things about something that trades for the first day, the relative volume is probably always going to look like one. Okay, that's why I've got, well, that's not the reason, but I do have one in here. The relative volume was of one, but most of the things you're going to see here are way, way, way above that. People ask me, where do you normally put your relative volume? What number do you use? And typically in most of the scans, it's at least 3, but I don't have to worry about that here. I put it at 1 so I can see some of this action in the pre-market. If you put a relative volume 1 in your scan, you will see data in the pre-market. If you put it any other number, you will not see data in the pre-market using the relative volume filter. So I have it here at 30 draw. Pre-market high, I have it here at 30. That was the candle at 7:15. That's what our chart says anyway, 30. But whether it's 28.84 or 30, it's above the current price. All right. Well, Sizu, you're telling me Sizu. Yeah, you're right. Sizu at a high of the day. Well, it was. And this is not shortable for me now. I think there was about 14,000 shares available earlier, not shortable for me now. Whoa, look at the GCTS now again, guys. Again, you've got to deal with the spread, or you don't have to deal with it at all. Your opinion, Shady. Yes, I get it. Obviously, it's highly volatile and all. Or the oust guys, the oust. This is one that I'm telling you. I mean, if it's based so nicely at 7, right around that 7 level, it gets going later on, popping through that high. You could still have a bit of a run in it. Okay, guys, Reddit's making a bit of a move now, guys, after it's, basically all day sell off, making a bit of a move here. Not a bit of a one, that's a pretty big one right now. So let's take a look at Reddit. 58.65 is the VWAP. So, it's about $1 away from that. VWAP is the, wow, look at, just give me a moment, is the, well, you can go to, for a very, very full definition, go to something like Investopedia. But the VWAP is the volume weighted average price. So, wow, just give me a moment. So it's a price, it's the price where a lot, like where the most of the volume has been. So, for instance, a stock that moved up to $30, it could have been done on one share, right? So, I mean, I'm not saying that's what happened with this one. So the volume weighted average price is a very critical area because that's the price where a lot of the volume is. So if it can crack through that, it becomes something that you want. And sometimes you'll hear me talk. Stock is above the VWAP. Let's see if the VWAP holds it, as a support area, maybe bounces off it. I'm not talking about this one. Or if the VWAP is above the current price, maybe it gets into the VWAP and that stalls it. Acts as resistance if you're trying to go long. So the VWAP is, right here. I have it in my single stock window. Right, guys. Well, listen, guys, look, I completely disagree with you anyway, Shady. This is way more entertainment value. But anyway, I'm just pointing it out because, you have to understand the risk and all, but I don't take very many shares, believe me. You don't need money when it moves $3 or $4. And now it is halted again. This is a little more realistic, 2089, 2090. Okay, so there's the halt for it. So the two indicators that I really look at, Hank, just, I'm not a big indicator guy. Look at my chart, hardly anything on. But the 200 moving average, okay, on the daily chart. Well, let's say, I'll pick CZU. I'm sure it's way above. Can't even see it. Pick another one then, NUVB. There, okay, there's the 200-day moving average, that blue line on my chart. That is, one, I think universally, this is the most popular indicator universally, and it's the 200-day simple moving average. And then I think next could be the VWAP. And so the VWAP for this one is 350. So a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll look, okay, they don't want to take it right now, feel they're chasing it. So they'll wait to see maybe it pulls back to the VWAP at which is 350. You could put a price alert right around the area. Okay, which I'll do. And then you see, first of all, then you don't have to stare at the chart anymore. If it pulls down to the VWAP, you'll get a price alert, and then you can make up your mind. Will the VWAP act as support so that it comes into and then bounces off it, or does it go through? I mean, you don't know. We can't know 100%. What the reaction to the VWAP is going to be, but it is an important area. Okay, I'm going to delete that. No, you know why, Grumpy? Because people ask questions, okay? And they don't need a snide remark from you, okay? I always say you can ask questions. Everybody started out new, okay? So just curb the smart remarks to people who are asking questions who don't necessarily, maybe they're new to trading. Of course, people can Google anything, but you're in a trading room. I'm very happy to answer any question that I can. Wow, this is going to be really interesting to see what the open is because I mean, it's no way it's going to hold at 2089. So 2089 is the where it got halted. Exactly, perfect circle. Everybody started out new. Everybody. And I wish I'd had something like this to go to when I started out. And I'm not just talking about myself, being a moderator, but I mean, there's so much, everybody tries to help each other in the room, except William. Yeah. All right, guys, it is now 11:49, so I will be taking off in about 10 minutes. Jamie will take over for me. Oh, I always, because the question is, do I consider the spread before I trade? Yes, of course. So, I mean, listen, I mean, with the GCTS, man, look at that. Look at that pop now, 21, 20. So the way I was able to take some, okay, because it's so wild, is using the IB's midpoint. Now, I wasn't going to take it when it was, I saw a couple of times when it was 18 and then 20 bid ask, something like that. But it got down to like, we'll say 1860. Well, I can use IB's midpoint. And I also understand, that there's tremendous risk involved, but not taking a lot of shares. Again, this is just a wild one, okay? And again, listen, the only reason I'm doing it is because it's in the right sector. Semis are hot. They've capitalized on that. That's the only reason. Well, then, you look at Oust, it's got a 1 cent spread. Perfect, as an example. They're not all crazy. A lot of it, of course, will depend on the float. Sisu has been a tough one. But if I wanted this one right now, okay, let's say I wanted this one right now, and I'd be only because I thought, well, I know it's got not a great spread, but I have the feeling that maybe I'm just using this as an example. I have the feeling maybe it can just keep continuing. It's over that whole number. So what I would be doing with IB is I would be using their midpoint entry and see if I can get a fill in like midway between the bid and the ask. It's still risky. Don't get me wrong. It is risky. And the only reason I would do something like that is for a stock that, has the chance to, make some big moves. But remember, a big move up can have a horrible move down. Well, 11:52, guys. So what I'm going to do now is you can put my announcement in, okay? I'm not gone yet, but Jamie will be taking over for me soon. So I'm not gone yet. There is a way to see the spread on trade ideas, but I mean, quite frankly, Fox Trader, you should be using, in my opinion, your broker, okay? This is time and sales from Interactive Brokers. I don't know who your broker is, but they'll have it. I mean, there is a way, but I mean, if you're serious, you should, in my opinion, anyway, you should be looking at something like this, okay? But you can, I mean, we do have the bid and the ask. You can put as columns. Oh man, the NUV. Okay, is there a way to be alerted when a new stock enters the AI? Oh, long terms window. I don't know. Probably not. Probably not. That's the first time I've had that question. Probably not. First of all, I'm not seeing anything here right now. There's our skies. Yeah, I don't even see anything here. Oh, here we go. Probably not. Let me just, a quick question to Chris. He probably knows, but okay, I just asked a question, okay? GCTS, look at it go. Now let me answer another question here. I've traded as pro in 4 windows where I hear the alert, but no data is displayed in the window. You hear an alert. You know what, James? Why don't you just send that as an email to Trade Ideas? Okay. info@trade-ideas.com. More people to do that, maybe the company will do something. I've never looked at it, to be honest, okay? I've never really looked at it, so. Okay, so the answer to your question is no. In terms of an alert when a new stock enters the AI long terms window. So Nick, I don't quite understand. So you have an alert window and you're hearing a sound from it, but no stock. Ah, I've missed my entry on the GCTS. That's okay. Well, I've been in and out a couple of times. Oh, that's okay. Don't worry about it. So how do you show the long term? So Bo, if you click on new, and then premium AI long-term strategy trades window. I think you have to be a premium subscriber to see it, okay? And you have to, I guess it takes a while to warm up to see. Okay. So it's click on new and then premium AI long-term strategy trades window. And that's where you'll see them. So I don't understand. You hear an alert, but no data. You know what? Jamie is going to show up any moment now. So what I have to do is one thing is to just put the YouTube link in. Okay, to the main room. And I'll continue trying to answer your question, okay, Nick? So this is the YouTube link, okay? Jamie's not there yet, but he'll be there any moment now, I think. Okay, so you set an alert, but no symbol shows. Now that is bizarre to me. Do you know how to put a cloud link in? So I can maybe, just take one of your alert windows and give me, now the other thing is, do you have a green ball? Has it ever worked before? How about that? Has it ever worked before? The web portal. Let me take a look if it's available in the web-based version.
Barry.
There's Jamie. Jamie, rescue me.
Hi,
I don't
hi.
know how I sound right now, but
Well,
it's new mic time.
you sound good. There's just a little like kind of I don't know. It sounds kind of robotic a little bit.
Hmm.
But you're completely hearable and legible. But you know,
You
there's
got to
just
be
a little
better though.
weird.
I don't want people saying, "Yeah, you sound okay," but that's terrible. I'm just looking, I'm just looking, Jamie, at our web-based version. There was a question from Bo in our web-based version. I don't see the long-term AI here, or do you know,
Oh, are you talking about
as a channel?
the dashboards, or the web version? I
Well, the
mean,
web-based version. Yeah, I don't see in the channels. I don't see the long-term version like we have in the downloadable application. So it may not be there.
yeah. If it's not there, it's not there.
It's not there. It's not there. Okay.
If it's not in the channel bar, it's not there.
Okay. So that answers your question. Okay, Bo. Okay, Jamie, I'm going to take off. I'm going to try to figure out if Best Buy has that mic that I'm looking for right now. Okay. They may even be able to deliver it to me this afternoon.
Okay,
So I'll take off.
let me grab the screen here real
Yeah.
quick. And good luck on your
Endeavor.
microphone quest.
Okay. Thanks a
We'll
lot.
see you when you get back. Okay,
Okay.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, hello everyone. Hopefully everybody can see my desktop now and hear my voice, and hopefully my voice is not robotic sounding. So hello to everyone, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, welcome. Let me just make a few adjustments here. I seem to have lost my toolbar. There we go. Or my, yeah, my toolbar. We got to silence those audible alerts. Get everything hunky-dory here. Okay, I think we're good to go. All right, so welcome everyone. This is the hour that we allocate for the live support session while Barry takes his well-deserved break. And thank you, Circle. All right, good deal. Yeah, I was just thinking about that myself the other day. It's always good to have another headset in reserve because they tend to crap out at the most inopportunistic times. But yeah, I've just always been good with the Plantronics plain Jane headset. It seems to work, and allegedly that's what they gave the astronauts when they went to the moon. Okay, so just keep in mind there's no pre-planned content here. Just going to talk shop, trading, and anything you guys want to talk about, along with trade ideas. Any questions about the functionality of the software, or if you'd like me to take a look at any charts. While I don't have the prowess of a Michael Noss or Chris Varley or Steve or Andy, I do have some rudimentary skills. So let me know if you want me to take a look at any charts. One moment, please. It is high allergy season here in the state of Tejas, so I'll try to mute whenever I have to cough, sneeze, or any of that stuff. Bear with me. Okay, Fox Trader. First, I thought that said fax. I'm like, okay, Fox Trader. What kind of trader am I? Well, good question. I'm a little bit of everything. When it comes to swing trading, I reserve that type of activity for my IRA account. Uh, when it just comes to regular old day-to-day trading, I'm more of an intraday guy. Example, CZU. This has been on the hot list. This was also through Barry. Did this come through the options play? Or no, it was the oust. But I don't know if CZU came through the abnormal options today or not. But it was all over this top list here. It was also all over my Dawn of the Dead top list that you can see right here. or top lists slash, uh, got the tree map shown here, which I've grown quite fond of. But Sisu, let's see. Dadgummit. I gotta put my VWAP back on here. Give me a second. Okay, where is it? Oh, I added it down here. Okay, one moment, please. Hmm. No, 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 I don't want it there. Okay, I'm a little confused here. Bear with me. Um, you would think after doing this a million times. Okay, I'm not seeing, that was my volume. All right. Well, I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, let's just try this one more time. There we go. Now, okay, the black line is now VWAP. Okay, so for example, CZU today. Um, pulled this one up, it was up here, right? Nobody likes to chase. I mean, look at that that nice little uptrend there. Got a little chasey. Said no. I'm gonna wait for it to come back through VWAP, see how it reacts. As it came down to this level here, that really caught my attention. Okay, so as soon as that wick was put in right there, what is that telling me? Okay, these things don't just continue to go straight up. They're a little trickier. Looking at the float up here, notice it's a small float, 4.3 million shares in the float. So we don't like to chase. We like to wait for the pullback. Now, it got a little bleedy through the VWAP, but notice this level here. And let me just drop a line real quick. Notice when it came down here after the wick was put in, it kind of lined back up with this prior breakout level. All right. And that's indicative of, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, nice little, 30-minute opening range break. Took a nice little pop up to 902 from 794, so over a point there. But a lot of the times these things like to regress back down to the entry signal, okay? Which if you were playing the range break, we'd have to push that up a little bit more. Whether you use the wick or the candle bodies, that's kind of a personal preference. But then this was really the tell, okay? Boom, they took it down. Sellers could not maintain control. Pops back up here, goes sideways for at least another 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes. Made for a pretty good entry right in this level right here. And then boom, we got the higher high. Broke prior broke prior highs and pushed on. But the key here was to not chase. Barry does this all the time, especially when the ones are coming through the abnormal option plus the 10-day range. Most of them are going to be very extended. So we wait for the pullback fills, and the Sisu is a perfect example of that. So this is typically what I'm looking for, either a break on the initial break, if I'm lucky enough to be there when the timing is proper, or if they go without me, wait for the pullback. If the pullback comes and you can make a decent entry, great. But it's the old adage, missed money. And if it never presents itself, it's just a missed opportunity, but missed money is better than lost money. So I'm a pretty simple guy when it comes to day trading. I like to play range breaks, and if I wasn't there at the proper time, I'll try to get the pullback, especially on these low floaters because, they're going to be very volatile. So that's one thing that I do. And then, I'm from the old school. So I still like to do my scalping on some of the thicker stocks, the big bank stocks like Barclays, Deutsche Bank, even Lloyd's of London. One of the thickest stocks out there with a penny spread. So when I'm scalping, I'm looking for the big, thick stocks with penny spreads and do my thing on the scalping front. So range breaks, pullback alerts, and scalping. That's pretty much my repertoire when it comes to trading. So I hope that kind of illuminates that topic for you, Fox. I got scars, perfect circle, that's for sure. Calcified bones and all that good stuff. All right, Frankie, as a new trader, is there an advantage to buying the premium annual or better to stick with standard till I gain more experience? That's a really good question. And it's really just kind of however you want to play it there, Frankie. The premium is going to give you access to the AI. And, that's a really great training tool. A lot of people think, oh, well, the AI is there and it's just going to win every day. But, that's not the way it works. It's a statistical model. So you can learn a lot from watching the AI. Now, it all kind of depends on if you have a game plan. A lot of people come into the business without a plan. And if you've ever listened to Michael Noss, one thing he repeats ad nauseum is that you got to have a plan. So if you've got a plan already and the basic subscription is getting it done for you, well, then you can always upgrade later on. So there's really no rush. And on the other side of that coin, let's say you do take out premium and you're just like, yeah, there's just too much stuff to watch. I'm not even, benefiting from some of the higher functions that the premium gives me. So, you know, if you went that route, you can always downgrade. So that's the cool thing about trade ideas. You can always upgrade, you can always downgrade, but pushing the button on the premium annual makes that a little bit more difficult. Um, so if you're thinking about doing an annual plan, and you've got a game plan. Nothing wrong with that. Um, but you might want to go monthly for a couple of months till you figure out which plan it is that you're really going to want to plunk down that cash on the annual. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I mean that's pretty reasonable there, Circle, with the AI alerts. And I see Frankie likes that answer as well. All right, Mr. Werder, very good question. The question is, do I have a scanner for finding range break setups, or do you have just to chart them out yourself? There's a couple of different ways that I find these things. Okay. Number one is we do have, if I right click in this alert window here and just cruise over to the search tab, you can see we've got some pre-programmed alerts. Now, I don't really, I mean, if you're kind of crazy and want to do 1 minute opening range breakouts or two or five, that's cool. That's cool. I don't really try to, I have to let a certain amount of bars, uh, you know, make the pattern, right? Um, so I will watch these with, a filter set that, spits out, well, sometimes I want to see the low floaters. A lot of the times though, the ones that are coming through, you just immediately look at and pass on. So when it's the low float crew, you might get one. Today I've been watching a low float opening range break. Let's see, how many alerts have I had today? I've had about one, two, three, four, five, and they all just kind of I just passed on all of them. Now, when it comes to non-low floats, right? Anything, once you get above the 20 million float mark, um, let's put a good filter set in place with the volume criteria. And these 30 and 60-minute opening range breakouts and breakdowns can produce some pretty interesting stuff. Of course, once you click on it, it may have already went, and once again, we don't want to chase. So the trick, the opening range breaks look so beautiful in retrospect, so simple, and they are. But being there at the right time is another matter. So this is one way to do it, right? You always need a couple of arrows in your quiver. And then, for example, here's just an alert window, one of my oldest alert windows. Let's just pull up the CDLX. It's always hopping. Um, and we're using new high here, right? So let's see if we can find a better example. Okay, all right, ROIV. Well, there's interest in it because it gapped up, right? And then if we just mark off this area here, you know, first high, first low, and then boom, in between, range bound. Puts the high in here, goes down in wicks. Once again, what does that wick mean? That's a good sign if you're thinking about going long because it simply means it was down here, but the sellers could not maintain control. And then we just wedge right on up here. So the first break point technically is right here at the 1075 level. I think the high of that candle. Come on, give me the candle. No, no, no. Okay. We'll just call that 1078. All right. Pecked out, gave us a little wiggle, about a dime. But notice right to the VWAP. And sometimes they go immediately, and sometimes they hem and haw around this entry line. You know, this is the 905 bar. This one just kind of went sideways and we'd be up a little bit, but it took about 35 minutes from the time, if we took the trade when we saw the new high right here. All right. So 1076, 1078 as our entry. Took a little bit of time, but you know, now enjoying a price of 11.15. So new highs for the breakouts, new lows for the breakdowns, because once it becomes range bound, like you see right here, it has to pop a new high in order to get out of that range. On the other side of the coin, if it was going to break down and try to fill that gap, it would have to punch a new low. So new highs and new lows are also really good for finding the range breaks. But keep in mind, they're not, you're not always going to find them at the exact right time. If you weren't paying attention here, then later in the day you saw ROIV hitting the high over here. Well, that's too late. The area of interest was from the time it first poked its head out, pretty much all the way to here, right? So there was a good area of time there that you could have put that trade on. Now, if we did take the trade here and say we paid 1078, top of that candle, what would our risk have been? How do we assess the risk? Well, not including the entry candle, which is here. I look back 15 minutes, 510 entry candle, 510, 15. So right there at VWAP actually. And if we drop another line right there, 510, 15, put a stop, penny outside the low of that candle. So this is our risk area right here between 1076 or 1078, our entry, and then about a 15-cent risk. Okay. So 1078, 1080, up to 1118 thus far. 38 cents of potential in there thus far, and about an 18-cent risk. So not bad, not bad. We always like to have, you know, I think I heard Chris Varley saying this the other day, one for ones, yeah, whatever. You need a little bit more. And in this case, you know, we could probably push, let's see, once again, my memory is failing me, 1078, 1063, so 15 cents. And currently up about 33 cents. So a little over a 2R on this one. Risk, reward up here. Okay, and lastly, and I see all the other questions, I will be sure to get to them. Lastly, to your point there, Mr. Werder, um, the NR7 alerts, okay, which you can see this window right here. NR7, what does it mean? It means narrow range, right? That's what it means, narrow range. So a lot of the times, but not all the times, you can find some pretty good consolidations here that might break out. You can see GME is in a pretty tight range here. Of course, the highs up here on this wick, lows down here, you know, not really, getting my interest present. But, if we were to continue to scan through some of these, we'll probably see some pretty good ones. Just another way to find things that are moving sideways in a very tight range that might go. Not really seeing any, textbook examples here, but it's just like every other alert window, right? We might have to filter through or look at, depending on the day, depending on the window, 10, 20, 30 or more symbols before we see one that catches our eye. And this is just the one I use after the session, gets a couple of hours old. Sometimes you'll find a good one, sometimes you won't, right? But you never know until you start looking. So not seeing a whole lot here. And keep in mind, this is just the last batch that pumped through here. And if I look at configure, I've got the 5-minute and the 15-minute. So those are all very good ways. Number one, the pre-programmed opening range breakout and breakdown alerts, the new highs and new lows, and then just for finding interesting consolidations. They may be close to the high, they may not be, but you just never know what you might find through the NR7s. I like to call this a multi-directional alert because it's going to show you things that are in tight ranges, but you know, does it look like it's going to go up if it breaks out of that little consolidation, or does it look like it's going to go down? That's just, this is a neutral alert. It could go either way. So, Mr. Werder, I hope that kind of illuminated that topic for you there. Okay, 7-7. Yeah, the NR7. So on that topic, I just said this is multi-directional, right? Well, what if we wanted to dial it in? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this, move it over here. What if we wanted to create one that was slanted to the upside or more defined for the upside? And I was just thinking about this before the session started. So this is what we're going to do. We want stocks that are being obviously in play to the upside that day. Right now, it's just neutral. Show me things that are moving sideways. Volume today has to be 300,000 already. Stocks between 1 and 40, and relative volume has to be 2. Telling us that, hey, there is some interest in this stock. Now, as far as volume goes, but we still don't have a direction, right? So we want something that's in play to the upside. So we're going to use the gap, and we're going to say, okay, thing had to at least gap up 0.5% or more. In addition to it gapping up, I want it to be up from the open. So I'm just going to install some generic. Once again, it's got to be up from prior close, and it's got to be up from the open as well. And we'll just call this the long version. Now, Goose, obviously, no pre-market on my chart yet. Give me a second here. Okay, so stock closed here, opened up here, so the gap was met. Um, it just ran up though, but that's okay because they're not all going to be perfect. So let me see what the time is here. And another thing to note about the NR7 is that these alerts pulse out. So, whereas you're watching a new high, you see it the exact moment that the alert was triggered. Since these are the 5-minute and 15-minute versions, every 5 minutes we're going to see another round of stocks exhibiting the pattern pump out. So every 5 minutes and every 15 minutes, you'll just have a bunch hit the window, and then you can take a peek at them. Okay, so since this one, we still got to wait a little bit for the 5-minute version, but let's just take a peek at the history here and see what we got. There's the oust again. Interesting. Okay, let us go to a smaller time frame here. Don't know who you are. Please leave me alone. 1 second here, ladies and gents. All right, just had to deal with that. Okay, so notice, my container window is covering up. Where did my other window go? Give me a second here. There we go. Okay. So that was a 5-minute. It just happened very quick, right? But you can see that little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 there. And then sure enough, after we popped that level right there, 579, we continued higher. That just happened very early, specifically about 11 minutes into the open. So the two 5-minute candles that formed there were very close together. But nonetheless, that would have been a pretty sweet entry um, on the OUST. And then having the AI signal it right before then, well, even better, right? Oh, you know what? I stand corrected. Ah, okay. Never mind. I see what's going on there. That's the AI's arrow here. I was like, I'm on the wrong time. Let's scroll back down and take a look at some of these right about the hour mark of the markets. Okay. Now, not a stock that I would really look to trade most of the time because it's just a little wicky and crazy there. But notice the pattern there. Notice that tight little pattern. Now this one gapped up and obviously has a lot of upside momentum to it. Let me get those fonts a little bit bigger here. But the NR7 is going to show us things doing this. And the whole thing about the NR7 is that, you got this nice little tight consolidation. And then one of the bars is slightly inside of the others. And then that's when we get the alert. And of course, some are going to look really tasty and some are just ones that you're going to pass on. This SLDP, that's not too shabby right there. Look at where it told you about it. Upside momentum, gapping up. Tells us it's consolidating right here at the $1.81 level. And, just plenty of time. As soon as it breaks that level again at 181, just a little ride all the way up to $1.90. 9 cents on a $1.80 stock is not too shabby, right? T and a little toppy there, but notice it didn't look anything like what we see here, right? STRO, there you go. 450 level. As soon as it comes up here and pops, 449, 450, nice little pop. As I was illustrating earlier, here's the pop level, here's the breakout level, up, all the way back down. Where do we come down to? Prior breakout level. Hims and haws here, consolidates again, still above VWAP in the 130, flirting with the 10 on the on the 1 minute, and then takes another lift. But this was a beautiful little pop right here. So let's see, who was asking that? Double seven. So let me know if this is kind of grooving with what you asked there. 7-7. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to park this guy over here. Then on this guy, we're going to do the exact opposite. Want to find, things that have downside momentum. So we got change from the open. Got to be down at least 0.5. Had to have gapped down at least 0.5. And now we've got the opposite for the breakdowns. I'm going to move this over here because it will get covered up. We'll take a look at some of those in a second. But in the meantime, just want to make sure and getting all the questions here. All right. Got a lot of questions here. I'll get to everybody, but I got to back up to Fox's other question. What would be your thoughts on IBIT on an intraday good RVOL and narrow spread? Okay, IBIT. Let me take a look. I tell you what, let me get back to 5-minute candles here. Okay, so what was the IBIT again? Let's see. So the time frame you're referring to, Fox, was just on the intraday, right? Well, I mean, this little guy has definitely had some action today. But if we're just talking about intraday, let me crunch it up to 15-minute candles. This was some interesting opening, or excuse me, pre-market range action here. But boy, that thing just looks like it opened right up there at the high and then just boom, got sold off immediately. Where's my daily at? Yeah, I got right up to this level and then got rejected. I don't know about this one, I mean, what do we bottom out at? Down around 39.01. So almost 2 points down. I mean, it looks like the bottom's in for now. Let's just get a little bit more zoomy on this. Interesting catch right here, okay? Let me see also. Okay, so this is the 10 period, the orange line. The black line is VWAP. Notice where it put on the brakes yesterday and today, right at VWAP. It tried to get a little bleedy here, put that wick in. If it did, I think this probably would have been the next stop for it, lining up with this area right here that could act as support, coinciding with the 10 period. Now, the fact that it's wicking up to the VWAP, if you're long from the bottom, that's a good sign. But it looks like this is kind of controlling the intraday action for now. And of course, that is the Bitcoin trust. So it's going to ebb and flow according to what Bitcoin does. While we're here, let's just pull up ARCB and see if it's doing All right. Notice I just pulled up ARC B. Notice that the chart looks almost identical. So I just wanted to pull that one up just for reference. Um, but it looks like they're all going to be doing the same thing there, being the spot ETFs that were recently approved. Okay, Nathaniel, how do you think about moving averages to decide which one to use for your charts? Good question. Let's flip back to the 15 here. Okay, so the ones that you see here now, the orange is the 10 period, black is VWAP, the purplish line here, I believe, is the 130 period, but let's just confirm. And yes, 130, 10, 130, and VWAP. This is pretty much all I ever watch on my charts, okay? The 10 period here, the orange line, um, you know, brought to you by Steve Gomez, told me about this a long time ago. Usually it's a very good indicator when a stock has momentum. In the case of iBit, it's it's acting as the tap down, right? If we look at a stock that has upward momentum, like the CZU, right? CZU been going up all day. Nice range break here. Um, but check out the orange line, okay? When a stock really has volume like CZU does today and is, in a big uptrend, notice how elevated. It takes a few wicks down here to the 10 period, but a lot of the times when a stock is in play to the upside, the 10 period is a great indicator or moving average to have on your intraday charts. 15 specifically, but I've noticed that a lot of the times when a stock is in play, it also acts well and is a good indicator on the 5 minute. Let's just take a peek at CZU on the 5 minute as well. Okay, still controlling the action here. Got a little bit bleedy through the 10 period, came up here and reclaimed it and has been above it since then. If I could only have two things, it would be the 10 period and the VWAP. Always have to tell myself, keep it simple. And to your question about the NR7, Nathaniel, it's not breakout dependent. It's just going to be showing us stocks that are moving in a narrow range, right? All right, very good, Mr. Werder. Wall Street Wolf, buy and hold NVIDIA, swing trade, price, target 950. Let's pull up NVIDIA. NVIDIA, Atlas of the markets. Let's look at the daily here. All right, so interesting what's happening right here on NVIDIA. Today, look, we're a little bleedy through the 10 period right here, but you know, it looks like this is the new home for NVIDIA for now. Just taking a look at the longer term here. Let's go out a little bit more. Okay, so now we're looking at the weekly candles, right? Looks like it's trying to set up shop, set up a new camp, high up here. 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks. I mean, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. If this week turned out green, it'd be 12 consecutive weeks up, approximately. So it's went on a heck of a run here. But judging by last week and the week before, perhaps we're setting up camp here. And of course, eventually the 10 period is going to catch up. Is price action going to come down to the 10 period, or is the 10 period eventually going to get up here and keep it all nice and snuggly? Don't know at this point. But we're nowhere near this area right here. And what was your buy and hold NVIDIA swing trade price target 950? Not a bad play. Not a bad play. If I was in this one, this would be my area to exit. So you're looking a little over 100 points on the ebb and flow here. So you would need to size accordingly. One moment, please. All right. Okay, finally down to you, Bo. Does Holly All Versions always consider breaking news and earnings for companies and all her strategies for her trades? Are those two items not factors? Let's see. Breaking news and earnings. I can tell you with certainty, it has nothing to do with news. The AI uses all of our alerts and filters. We don't have any news filters. We don't have any new alerts. The only way you can get news and trade ideas is down here in the news panel in the single stock window. So let me get my, okay. So I just want to bring up the strategy window for the AI. These are all the strategies that the AI brought to the party today. All right. What do we have here? We had 3 longs and 3 shorts for a total of 6 strategies. Now, out of the 6 that showed up, only 3 of them have issued signals. We can see breakout long had 3, topping formation had 2, and breakdown short had 1. Now, the news is not a factor. Now, earnings could be a factor if the strategy in question was using any of our earnings filters, right? And we can see because the AI will optimize and retool her strategy bank after the market is closed today, and we import all that tick data. So it's very possible in that strategy library of anywhere between 35 and 40 strategies that are maintained, that some of those strategies might be employing the earnings filters, right? So that is how earnings might come into the equation in an AI strategy. But nope, there is no news. There is no news factored into any of the AI strategies or signals. Now, let me wax on a little bit more about the AI. What is the AI's superpower that it brings to the party, right? And the added oomph, because myself, Steve, Andy, Michael, we're all going to tell you the same thing. Use the AI window like you would use any other window, right? If you have a nice alert window that's geared towards high volume stocks, well, then that's the theme of the window. Holly, the AI is going to be spitting out longs and shorts. It's up to us to size up the chart and see if the risk is in play. Do we like the setup, right? Not to just blindly take them. But the added oomph behind Holly is statistical viability. That is what the AI is. It is a statistical model. So each and every one of these strategies that gets brought to the session has a projected win rate. Okay. Now, this is no guarantee. Sometimes a strategy that says, hey, uh, you know, according to the back test, I am going to win 70% of the time. That's the statistical viability. It by no way ensures success, but that is the extra oomph that the AI brings to a signal, is that based on the statistical model, this thing's got a good chance of working. Now, having said that, just because you have statistical viability on your side doesn't mean it's always going to work, right? The AI has losing days just like you or I would, right? So once again, man and machine, don't just blindly take all the AI trades, but size them up. You'll figure out which patterns are conducive to your style, and that's the way we do it with the AI. All right, to your second question there, Bo, can you show an example of how we would make a recommended swing trade by Holly and not her typical day trade? Okay, well, let's look at some of her trades today. And then all we're going to do is look at the longer term chart to figure that out, right? Okay, oust. Here we are looking at the weekly, but let's go to the daily. Okay. Now, notice the AI price right here, 575, and the high right here was 608. Okay. So if I drop a line here, okay, we know where the AI got long. My eyes go immediately to this level. All right. This is the daily. So I see the AI produce this signal. Then shortly after, on the intraday, I think is when it broke out. But if the AI is buying it here, and then down at the bottom of today, let's say, okay, if we were going to use the low of the day as our risk, let's just round it up to 530 for easy math here. That would have been a 45-cent risk, right? Now, let's say I popped into a couple hundred shares. I'm like, yeah, I'll risk 90 bucks. I'll pop a couple hundred shares here because it's a low floater. I got to risk 45 cents to the low of the day. Um, as soon as it popped this level here, you know, this is the area that could have acted as potential resistance just by eyeballing the chart here. We got a breakout from this lower area, and boom, we just jammed right through that. Now, where do we put on the brakes here? And if we squish up a little bit more, I mean, that's where it slammed on the brakes because that's the last little area that for a while there acted as supply. Then boom, shot above it, came back down, tried to reclaim it one more time, but that's where it put on the brakes. So let's say I was in oust from the AI signal, enjoying a nice, you know, up a point in the money right now. If I was in that 200 shares, what I would probably do is flip out of one, take that money. And if I wanted to keep the other 100 for a swing trade, I would simply put my stop slightly below this level here. Probably round it down to 599, risk a flat or making peanuts or losing peanuts on that second lot. But just by looking left, Bo, and you hear Barry talk about this ad nauseum as well. All we have to do to figure out if we want to take the risk on the swing is to look left. So that's the oust. Let's look at the other long. Let's see here. Let's look at stocks, STKS. Okay, so not bad. We're already above this level right here once stocks was signaled. But notice where it put on the brakes, right? It put on the brakes right here as we came up to this level here, which for a good while there on the daily acted as, supply. Finally got above it. Boom, boom, boom. Fast forward how many, weeks, days, whatever. And now we're attacking it again. But, we got the gap up and then the run up. You know, it seems to me like this thing could pull back and be pretty, you know, maybe this is its new home, right? So if I was in STKS at 470 and it's up here at 498, same thing as oust pretty much. Okay, I'll take a little bit off. I'll take half off. I'll set a stop loss for break even on the other one. But we could be in this range for a while unless we get a close above here or a close below here, which would in essence stop us out on the trade. Then not saying we couldn't jump up and just go nutso, but most of the time, since we put on the brakes here and we get a close somewhere in this new range, we're probably going to go sideways for a while, and then then maybe attack this level again or roll back over. But that's how I would assess the risk on, okay, is stacks a good swing trade, right? And whether it's the AI or any other stock that you see come through any other window um, that you're watching, this same methodology applies. Okay, not bad on pays, right? Now the breakout level occurred already, right? We got the gap up, and just trying to figure out where we might be here. Looks like we wicked all the way up to 453, and now we're coming right back down here. In this little area back here is probably going to act as some support, I would think, right? Now we wouldn't want to get bleedy and close below there. But as far as the risk goes, and let's just zoom out a little bit more here. Okay. A close above this level would definitely be bullish. It means we're, this area that acted as supply, if we can get above here and close, it's not but a hop, skip, and a jump back up to 4, which it already did and was rejected. Okay. So on the weekly here, get a weekly close above here, then we might have action like this moving forward. But if I did want to swing pays, I'd probably, I'd probably honor the stop that the AI is giving me, or maybe even take it down to 369 or so, make it close below there uh, on the daily to get me out. So, Bo, that really is the trick when it comes to swing trading. It's looking left to identify potential areas of support and resistance. Yeah, trader, I can drop that into the YouTube chat. And yes, Bo, you must have over 25K to not get flagged as a day trader, or you're just limited. I think it's 3 trades a week. You know, they limit you to as far as in and outs. Now, swing trading, as long as you're holding overnight, that doesn't count, right? You can make as many overnight trades as you want. You just can't cover that position on the same day. All right. Boy, spam bots are in full force today. Let's see who was asking for that 7.7, the long version of the NR7. Sure. Let me make sure it's the right one. Okay, that is it. Okay, I will drop that in the YouTube chat. There it is in the YouTube chat. Yep, exponential. Some people like the simple, some people like the exponential. I'm more of a simple guy. Tomorrow is quadruple. Oh, yeah, because the market's closed on Friday. Yes, David. If you're just going long on the cash, but I like to flip and dip all the time, reverse positions and go short, so I need that margin account. And you are welcome, 7.7. Okay, I think I'm caught up on the questions. If I did miss anybody, please resubmit it. But I think I'm all caught up here. Let me get back over here to a daily or intraday. DRCT not having a, a very good day. And there is another dot container that I want to check on here. Hopefully I did not kill it. Okay, so here is our sector channel. And these are usually all top list, but I just convert them all over to the tree map view. CTOS having a good day. A little too pricey for my liking though. I wonder why my sector blanked out there. Maybe it's because it's too small. There we go. I don't know why we have those gaps in there now. There we go. Just had to make it a little bit bigger. The utilities having a great day. You know, the energy stocks got punched on a little bit yesterday, but I got to tell you, I really love these tree maps simply because you can make sense of things. You know, it's a lot easier to see versus a grid view, right? Because first we came out with the races, another way to visualize that top list data, and those are really cool. And now we've got the tree map view. Netflix not having a good day either, but just a different way to visualize all the sectors and then all the stocks in the specific sectors that are up or down the most. Now, I took a screenshot of this early in the day. Oh yeah, I put it somewhere else. But anyway, I'm going to go back and compare that because a lot of the times these early runners in these sectors, just like in our races, are the ones that keep on going for a good while before they put on the brakes and either stay there or reverse. So if you haven't been watching the sector, I know Barry always likes to look at the sectors and see what's, see what's in play for the day. But you can just have this in another container and watch it for, you know, whatever the hot stocks are in that particular sector. Just jump right out at you. That is correct, David. The inverse ETFs go long to go short. Give me 1 second here, ladies and gents. Okay. All right. Just a little internal dialogue there. Sure, Mohammed. Sure. Let me grab that link for you. All right. Sector map. Tree map view. Okay, so that link is now in the YouTube chat as well. You're welcome. All right, well, let's check in on some of these. Let's see. Yeah, some really, really good action in new which is a financial digital banking services. Yeah. Pre-market range. As soon as it popped that range, boom, took a nice little swoon from 1225 down to 1172. This little guy, I was shocked and amazed at this opening candle here. Oh, let's go to 5 minutes. I mean, 927 up to now. You might think, well, a dime's not that big of a move. For Barclays, it is, right? Usually, you get 2 or 3 cents on a big, push of volume, but they are liking the banks today. Up 1%. I think Deutsche Bank up 3%. There we go. So a lot of gap up and floundering here on Deutsche Bank. What's Lloyd's of London doing today? Pretty volatile for this stock. Pretty volatile day for that stock. You might look at that and go, how do you trade that? But it's a very liquid stock and it likes to move here lately. Okay, Nathaniel, how can this system identify stocks where price is at large gaps above or below? Well, if you're talking about the gap for today, then we can always use our gap filter. Right, but that's only going to be, the gap from prior close to this open, right? Now, when you say that, it makes me think of our anchored VWAP, which is part of the Market Explorer window and is also an add-on. So you might be looking for something like this. If I pull up a new Market Explorer window and then we go to select strategies, we find our anchored VWAP. Notice we have an anchored VWAP from large gap. So when I pull these up, and I have to put this over here first. Okay, where did that just go? Huh. Barry, is that you? Well, I've
I'll
got
let
so
you
many.
keep trying to help Nathaniel.
What's that?
I'll let you keep trying to help Nathaniel.
Yeah, if I could help myself here find the window that I just crushed. It's the only annoying thing about a dot container is that you can lose things behind it.
Yeah, you got to be careful on what you grab.
Uh-huh. There we go. Let me just get that over here.
So is he talking about, I heard your explanation. I mean, people get confused a little bit about what the gap is. I mean, the gap, the
Mhm.
technical definition of the gap is the first print of the day. So
Correct.
is he
Uh-huh.
talking about that, or is he talking about just a stock that's up a lot?
Yeah, well, that's
So that's, I guess
that,
he has to tell us that.
yeah. So Nathaniel, feel free to expound a little bit more. Are you just talking about today's gap, or that's why I brought up the anchored VWAP from a big gap, because if we, let's see, yeah, I just clicked on NCLH here. Now, I guess for this one, oh, the anchor's way back. I'm trying to find where the anchor is, right? Where we anchored to. But the purple line that you're seeing right here, that looks like it's anchoring from today's gap, doesn't it? I mean, not today, but that gap, right?
Mhm.
So how many days ago was that? If you're looking for gaps many days back, or could be, you know, probably that's a buyout stock more than likely, closed here, gapped way up here.
Yeah,
Oh,
so now he's calling
no.
them fair value gaps. I'm not familiar with that term.
Yeah, I'm not either.
But you can go. I mean, you can go now. I'll try to keep helping him because I really have to know if what he means is, the gap, like the first print of the day being a
Yeah.
big gap,
Hmm.
or like iBio right now is up 176%. I mean,
Hmm.
technically that's not a gap, but I mean, that's, it's up the most in that I can see.
Yeah, I'd actually have to look up the definition of a fair value gap because I might have heard that in the past, but I don't remember.
Yeah.
Okay, my friend, I will let you take the
Okay.
helm.
Thank you. Thank you very much. How do I
Yeah.
sound right now, by the way?
Sounds good. Now say something else.
Jamie, you are a first class citizen.
um, I think you sound fine. I
Oh,
want to
okay.
say there's like a little distortion, but
Okay.
it could just be my ears.
No, no. Well, I've got a new mic I'm picking up this afternoon, so I'll see if that's the issue.
Oh, so you
If
don't
it's
have
not,
the
I'll
new
return
one
it.
yet. You don't have the new
Yeah.
one yet. Okay.
No, 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 no,
Yeah.
no, no.
Yeah.
Okay, Jamie,
But
thanks a
you're good
lot.
enough. You're good enough.
Okay, okay. Good enough is not what I want to hear, though. Yeah, yeah, I want to hear you are perfect. And
Well, you get
yeah,
the
so
new
people are,
mic, and I'm sure you will be perfect.
you're right.
Golden tones of Barry.
Okay. Okay, guys, I'm back. Let me take over. And thanks again, Jamie. Let me take
You're
over the
welcome.
screen again. And so I'm now back in both rooms. Okay, I'm back in both rooms.
I'll see you later, Barry.
And let me get my music going. Just give me one moment. Oh, really? To be clear, the USB ports on the back of the PC are always best. Interesting. Okay, okay, cool, cool. I thought it was exactly the reverse. So I've actually put it on one of my front ports. Okay. So let me, so Nathaniel, I don't know what a fair, I don't know if Jamie found what the definition of a fair value gap was. So you're not talking about then the gap of the day. You're not talking about the first print of the day being, say, 10% above yesterday's close, as an example. You're not talking about that as a gap. Okay, okay, so that's not what you're talking about. Okay. In that case, I don't think we have it, okay? I don't think we have something. I mean, I know Jamie was toying around with that anchored VWAP, trying to find out, so I doubt if we have it. And by the way, where are you, Draw? You're still in the room, right? Draw D, Draw D. No, it could be my mic, John. Okay, I mean, I've had it. This mic has been work. This has been has worked very well for years and years and years, and that's what I've had it for years and years and years. So typically with my noise canceling on, you don't hear anything in the background. It doesn't have that echoey. I'm in a big room, yes, but anyway, we'll have to see what happens when I get the new mic. No, no, no. I've not switched mics. No, no, no. I ordered it and it's waiting there for me to pick it up. So I'll wait for the market to close and then I'll head out there. FVG, so that's what you're talking about, a fair market gap. I would say that we don't have anything that's going to necessarily identify that. FVG, a fair market gap. Oh, I see. I see. You're talking, well, this is not a symbol then. You're not talking about the symbol FVG? Fair value. No, no, I understand. I thought you were trying to give me an example of something that was a fair value gap. Yeah, so the noise canceling software that I'm using is called CRISPR or CRISP, and I've been using it for a long time now. It has seemed to work very well. This mic that I have, though, new mic, will have, well, it has its own noise canceling software, but it is still software. I was hoping it was going to be hardware. But anyway, listen, guys, you know what time is it now? I've got another couple of hours, and that's it. And then I can hopefully, hopefully figure out maybe that's the issue. Now, iBio still, guys, iBio. Why would we assume that you guys, the stock guys, are familiar with ICT concepts? See, I don't even know what ICT is. There's so many acronyms out there. I don't even know what ICT is, Ken. So there's the iBio guys. I mean, it is still, man, I just wish it wasn't so crazy, but well, you know what? Pepe knows all this. I've got this right. I mean, in theory, right? The input is the Chris microphone. Of course it is, right? So if I went back just to the Yeti, I could try that, but I think what happens, I have to exit the room, right? And then I come back. I'm sorry, guys. I really am sorry to dwell on this, but I mean, okay. So let me do this. Okay, I'm gonna get out of this. I'm gonna put it. Okay, so now I've exited. So okay, now can you hear me in the main room? Doesn't look like it, right? Interesting. So you guys can't hear me at all. Oh my goodness. Probably shouldn't have messed around at all. Yeah, that's what I got. Yeah, by the way, I'm getting for well, ever since several years now. But you guys can't hear me at all. Oh, so you guys on YouTube can hear me. Interesting. Yeah, they can't hear me in the main room. Very, very faint. Okay. Well, how about I do this? How about the volume? What if I do that? Does that help? Still very low. Okay. There. Oh, there I go. Okay, so I did up the volume here. That's what I did. I upped the volume. It was way down here. Okay, so I did up the volume. Yeah, I'll put it right at the top. Okay. All right, so here we go. You can hear me. Now, is it better? Is the buzz is gone? Ah, so I sound a lot better, like back to normal. Okay. So it must be the noise can if I can get the same result from no, Dwayne doesn't hear anything at all. Ah, but okay, in YouTube you can hear me fine, but you guys can't hear anything in the main room. And again, I do apologize. You know what? William, not William, but Pepe. Remember what this is doing now? This stupid on the slider. It's trying to adjust or something. Oh. Just give me a moment. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry, guys. It was my fault. The mic was not on. Okay. The mic was not on. So now everybody in the main room can hear me. Well, the mic was on, but this was not on. Okay. Well, now this is interesting. Okay. Sounds good. Like when you say, so everybody says in YouTube that I sound normal. And now it's back to normal. Well, that means then it's not the mic, it is the noise canceling software. 100% of normal. Okay, well, that's good. Problem is going to be, guys, is the noise canceling software is off, but which is okay when my wife's not home. But not because she's loud, but she's working, she's on the phone a lot. So no room echo either. Okay. Wow, I might have saved myself 250 Canadian. I might not even. So what they're saying in YouTube is that it comes and goes, now normal, then it gets quiet and choppy, then comes back. Well, it's YouTube. How about in the main room? Again, I do apologize. I do apologize. How about in the main room? Is it pretty consistent? No drop off here. Okay. Then you know what? The- It's possible then for YouTubers because I may have to restart YouTube. With the fact that I changed the mic from getting off the noise canceling. It's possible. It could be the connection to StreamYard. It's exactly perfect. I had to log out of the main room and log back in for the new connection to take effect. I might have to do the same for YouTube. So if you can hang on for another hour and 45 minutes, because otherwise all you guys will be bounced out. All right, let's get back to looking at some trades perhaps, okay? But you know what? Okay, now, sorry, I know trade is sound every single day and you make money every single day in it. Let's see what it's doing now. So okay, let's see what you did. 550 level, 585. I haven't been able to follow too much. So guys, in YouTube, this is what I'm going to do. I am going to restart the whole stream, okay? And I want to see if that clears up for you guys at YouTube. Then we absolutely know, okay? So I do apologize. Everybody in YouTube right now will be bounced out. Just come on back, okay? I'm going to stop the stream. It's the only way I'm going to know. But I will start it. So in about 5 minutes, everything will be